She has the eyes of a scholar, Muna. Tomorrow I will speak to the headmaster at the international school.
School? Look at her. She is a village girl who doesn't know a laptop from a hot plate.
She is a child, Muna, not a vacuum cleaner.
We are already doing God's work by giving her a roof and a full plate. She stays here, she works. That is her education.
Let's go.
Zani, fix the lag in my room now.
It's done, Hyan. Check your stream.
Zani! What did I tell you about touching the master's controls? Do you want him to ask questions? Do you want us back in the dirt? Go to the laundry. Fix the lag!
Hurry up, Zani, you're just a maid.
It's done.
In this house, the lights are programmed to never flicker. Perfection is the only language Master Joe speaks. He thinks he's the architect of this family, but he's actually the only one living in the dark. My name is Zani. Master Joe calls me his act of charity. The children call me the help. But Muna, she doesn't call me anything if she can help it. Because every time she looks at me, she sees a secret she thought she buried in the red dust of Nigeria 12 years ago. She's the woman who has everything: the Korean billionaire husband, the high society status, the perfect life, and I'm the mistake that could take it all away. She didn't bring me here to save me. She brought me here to keep her evidence under her thumb. It's been 4 years since I traded the village for this palace. 4 years of watching my own mother play auntie to me while she kisses her real children goodnight. Master Joe built this empire on smart light, homes that feel your pulse and change the atmosphere. But while he's off at corporate headquarters, I'm the one who actually keeps the pulse steady. Hyan and So-Hui are my age, but they live in a dream. I live in the code. I don't just dust the servers. I've mapped the digital ghost of this house. Muna thinks a village girl's brain can't grasp the Joe spectrum. She thinks because she hides her old passport in a locked safe, her past is dead. She doesn't know I've hacked that safe. She doesn't know I've seen my own birth certificate. Mother, Muna. Father, unknown. She calls me Shadow, but shadows are the only things that know exactly what's hiding in the light. In this house, the walls don't just have ears, they have eyes. Infrared, thermal, motion sensitive. Master Joe calls it total harmony. I call it a cage. Every night, while Muna tucks Hyun and So-Hui into their silk sheets, I'm in the basement laundry, breathing in the scent of bleach and broken dreams. But tonight, the total harmony is broken. The main chandelier in the grand hall, the centerpiece of the Joe Empire, has gone dark. The engineers say it's a fried motherboard. They say it will take a week to fix. They're wrong. It's just a loose optic cable in the subfloor. I saw it on my tablet 3 hours ago. Master Joe is pacing. He has a gala in 2 hours. If the lights don't dance, his reputation dies. Muna is standing beside him, her hand on his arm, playing the perfect supportive wife. She looks at the dark chandelier and sees a crisis. I look at it and see an opportunity, a very, very dangerous one. The system is unresponsive. If the investors arrive and we are sitting in the dark, the merger is over. Where are the technicians? They're stuck in the city traffic, Joe. It's a storm. They can't get here. Zani could probably do it. She fixed my tablet when the internal cooling failed. She didn't even use tools. Don't be ridiculous, So-Hui. Zani is a child. She cleans floors. She doesn't rewrite light code. It's the refraction sink, Master Joe. The third node is misaligned. What did you say, Zani? She's just repeating words she heard on the news, Joe. Zani, take those glasses to the kitchen, now. Wait, Zani, how do you know about node alignment? I watch you work, Master. You said light is just math. I like math. Master Joe doesn't move. He just stands there, a man who owns everything except the answer to why his house is broken. Muna is talking. Her voice is a frantic hum in the background, making excuses, trying to pull Zani back into the kitchen where it's safe. She tells him the girl is just a helper, that she doesn't understand these machines, that the technicians will be here any minute. She is building a wall of words to hide her daughter, but the wall is crumbling. Master Joe raises a hand. Muna stops mid-sentence. The silence that follows is sharper than any shout. He looks at Zani, really looks at her. He sees the way her eyes don't blink when they look at the code. He sees the way her small fingers are already twitching, as if they can feel the electricity trapped in the walls. Muna says you are just a helper, Joe says, his voice like cold silk. But your eyes tell me you're a liar. He extends his hand. In it is the holographic tablet, vibrating with a low blue hum. Muna moves to grab it, but one sharp glance from the master freezes her in place. Zani takes the tablet. For the first time, Muna isn't just a mother. She is a spectator at her own execution. She watches as her daughter, the secret she has kept for 12 years, slides her finger across the glass. Zani isn't guessing. She isn't hoping. She is rewriting. She finds the flaw in the master's total harmony. She finds the one circuit that refused to submit. With a single, confident tap, she forces the house to obey. The hum becomes a roar. The spectrum chandelier ignites, not a flicker, but a blinding, high-definition explosion of white and gold. The rainbows return to the marble walls, sharper and brighter than they have ever been. But as the light floods the hall, the shadows vanish. Muna looks at Master Joe and sees the terrifying truth. He isn't looking at the light. He is looking at Zani, like a man who has just found a diamond in a pile of coal. The secret didn't die in the dark. It just got a spotlight. In the Joe mansion, the morning light is never soft. It is a clinical glare that demands perfection. Master Joe doesn't start his day with a good morning. He starts it with a move on the chessboard. Muna watches the black enrollment folder slide across the white marble table. To the world, it's an invitation to the most elite tech institute in the country. To Muna, it's a death warrant for the life she built. Every time Joe praises Zani's innate gift, Muna feels the walls closing in. She fights him with the only weapons she has, words of caution, readiness, and protection. But in this house, protection is seen as weakness, and caution is seen as a waste of resources. The girl is a prodigy, Joe says. His voice is a low hum, steady and terrifyingly calm. He isn't looking at Muna as a husband looks at a wife. He's looking through her, as if she is just an obstacle in the way of his newest acquisition. Muna's hand trembles on the silk of her gown. She knows that every step Zani takes into Joe's world is a step away from her own heritage. But while the adults play their game of power, So-Hui is learning a different game, the art of the hunt. She sits at the table, a forgotten princess in a house of new miracles. She watches her father defend the helper's child with a passion he never showed for her own school recitals. The jealousy isn't a tantrum, it's a cold, calculated fire. So-Hui doesn't need a tech degree to find a bug in a system. She knows where her mother hides the things she's afraid to burn. while the mansion hums with the news of Zani's future. So-Hui is in the master suite, her small hands digging through velvet drawers and locked boxes. And there, beneath the jewelry and the designer watches, she finds it. A physical photograph. A piece of paper from a world where Master Zhou didn't exist. She sees the young version of Muna, glowing with a raw, unscripted love, holding a baby with the same mahogany skin and the same defiant eyes as Zani. In that moment, the total harmony of the Zhou family doesn't just crack, it shatters. The secret isn't a whisper anymore, it's a weapon. And So-Hui is just waiting for the right moment to pull the trigger. So-Hui doesn't just hand over the photo. She knows her father values discovery over gossip. She starts the day by leaving the master suite door slightly ajar. She places the faded photograph, the one of Muna's mahogany mistake, inside a folder of architectural sketches she knows Zhou will review. She sits across from him at breakfast, watching him flip through the pages. She sees the exact millisecond his thumb pauses. She sees the vein in his temple pulse. She doesn't say a word. She just sips her tea, her eyes cold and victorious. When Zhou looks up, So-Hui simply whispers, "I thought it was a sketch of a legacy, Papa, but it looks like a lie." She exits the room, leaving the poison to circulate. Master Zhou doesn't call Muna in yet. He wants to see the rot for himself. He goes to his command center. He doesn't look at the present. He digs into the archives of the day Zani arrived. He uses the mansion's high-fidelity sensors to run a retroactive biometric scan. He watches the playback of Muna's face on the monitors. He sees the disgust she tried to hide when she first held Zani in the foyer. He sees the way Muna looked at the baby, not with love, but with the eyes of someone looking at a stain on a white rug. He pulls up the audio from the laundry room. A hidden mic captures Muna hissing at a toddler Zani. "You are the anchor that's going to drown me." Zhou realizes the total harmony wasn't a family. It was a cover-up for a woman's shame. He feels a new, dark respect for the girl who survived such hatred. The confrontation is a cold execution. Zhou calls them both into the hall. He lays the photo next to a digital display of Muna's fake relative documents. Muna sees the trap. She doesn't cry for Zani. She cries for Muna. "It was a mistake, Zhou," she screams, her voice echoing off the marble like a dying bird. "I was young, I was foolish. I brought her here to hide her, to keep her quiet so I could be the woman you wanted. She is nothing to me but a burden." She falls to her knees, grabbing Zhou's hand, her face contorted in a selfish, desperate panic. She points a trembling finger at Zani. "Get rid of her. Send her back to the dirt she came from. Just don't let her take this life away from me." Master Zhou pulls his hand away from Muna as if she's the one who is infected. He looks at Zani. The girl is standing perfectly still, her face a mask of stone. She has just heard her mother call her a stain. She doesn't cry. She evolves. "I am adopting her," Zhou says, his voice cutting through Muna's hysterics. "Zani is the only one in this room with the discipline of a Zhou. You, Muna, you will stay. You will play the role of the devoted aunt. You will watch her inherit everything you value while you become a servant in your own home." Where souls meet stories. Subscribe and be a part of our story family.